Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Exploit Security. As always, I am your host, Scott. And today we are coming to a very, very sad moment. It looks like this is going to be the last working level for OverTheWire Leviathan, which is Leviathan 6 to 7. So it's been great, kind of a short one. I did find it interesting. It kind of started off harder and then got a little bit easier as we progressed, which is a little unusual for some of the other challenges. Like Bandit does get a bit harder, and so does Over the Wire Nodus and Over the Wire Bandit, which I also have on my channel. So make sure you check those out if you have not seen those. And if you haven't seen the videos for Leviathan 0 all the way up to 6, definitely check those out, as I have those posted on my channel as well. But it's a sad moment. It looks like we are going to be closing out the Leviathan series today. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and say our farewell. So right off the bat, like I say in almost every video, it's almost all the challenges are going to be pretty well siloed, which means that most of the challenge is going to be within the home directory, or everything that you need for the challenge is going to be within the home directory. So you shouldn't really have to expand out past that. Sometimes you'll see me do work in the temp directory. That's more so just out of, that's more so just out of force of habit, just to kind of keep my workspace clean. So every now and then you may see me jump into there, but for the most part, when it comes to all of Over the Wire challenges, they silo it out and they just try to make it a little bit easier for you to just focus on the meat and potatoes without going down too many rabbit holes. So again, I'm just going to list out the current directory. Again, big shocker, we have another binary, Leviathan 6. So of course we can do Leviathan 6 just to run it. It gives us the usage of a 4-digit code. So we could do up and just do 0000. Wrong. We can also run ltrace just to see those function calls. Wrong. So one thing we can do is, now we're starting to get into some brute forcing. So we can put together a little bash script to just do a bit of brute forcing on the file. And let's see what we can kind of figure out from there. So usually I jump to the temp directory. For this one, I'm just going to stay right here, and we'll make it right here in this location. A little bit sloppy, but we'll take it. So the first thing we want to do is we can do nano. Some people like to use Vim. I prefer nano. And then we're going to just name the file. Let's call it just brute. And we're going to make it a bash script. If you haven't, let's do this then. Let's go make directory. We are going to go into the temp file after all. Boom, boom. All right, cool. So it already has my stuff from the previous challenges. So that's cool. So we will just go ahead and ignore that for now. And now we're going to just create that brute force script using bash. So nano brute.sh. And let me think. So we can do 4, and then we'll do I for variable in, and it said 4 digits, right? So a 4-digit pin. So pretty simple. Squiggly bracket 0000, right, for the lowest denomination of that 4-digit pin, followed by dot dot, and then the highest denomination of the 4-digit pin, which is 9999. I'm speaking German. And enter, do And then we can go Leviathan 6, I believe it was called, $I, and we should be able to do done. So basically, I'm telling it to iterate from 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way up to 9999, and each time it does that to run the next value. So it's going to try to do Leviathan 0, 0, 0, 0, and it's going to try to call that on Leviathan 6, which is where you can see that $I. And when that doesn't work, it's going to keep kind of iterating through. And this should work. So let's just go ahead and exit out. Looks like we have a permission denied. All right, so let's do this. We will do all right, and we're just going to type out that same thing really quick. So again, for, I think I did X last time, in squiggly bracket 0, 0, 0, dot, dot, 9999. That basically means we're going to use X to iterate through that value from 4 zeros all the way up to 4 nines. And it's going to just iterate that value one at a time. And we're doing that by saying do Leviathan 6, which is the name of that file. And then we are going to call that variable of X, which is going to be that iterating value with $X, and then done. And then we're just going to run it. Oh. First, we got to make it executable. And then we're going to run it. And as you can see, we get a bunch of junk. But down at the bottom, it looks like we did get a correct pin at some point. Let's go ahead and do a proof of concept to test that. And we can see that we are now Leviathan 7. So it did not say the pin that worked. We could do something, right? We could definitely write something out to where it is going to print that pin out for us into another file or echo it out. For the purpose of this, we really don't have to. It's just a really short one. But if you wanted to, you certainly could do that within the do, right? You could have that standard output, standard error get piped into different places. But for the case of this, it looks like we did get it. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that password file, which is inside Etsy, Leviathan _ pass. And then Leviathan 7 is what we want. We get that printout for the password. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. I like to save these passwords also in my notes as well. But we have what we believe is a password for Leviathan 7. Let's go ahead and log out, log back in. Again, we are going to replace Leviathan 6 with Leviathan 7. We get prompted for the password. We're going to paste in what we just got. We are now logged into Leviathan 7. So we're just going to go ahead and finish out this level. We can see that there is a folder in there called congratulations. That's the only different looking thing. So there you have it. So we can see that it says, well done. Seems you've used this system before. Please don't post write-up solutions or spoilers. So these challenges have been around for a while. There's tons of spoilers already out there. I try to avoid doing a lot for like, especially like Hack the Box. But in this case, these are really good challenges to help learn. And if someone's already here and stuck, I would rather them learn and get some value from it. When I started off in cybersecurity, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of mentorship. I was just kind of trying to figure it out on my own, and it made it really difficult. You can understand a lot about computers, but sometimes not know what to use when and in what situation. So these videos have helped me learn. Videos I found on YouTube, and that's kind of how I progressed and how I got into my first role as a junior penetration tester. So I definitely think that there is value still to be gained from doing the write-ups and solution-based videos. With that being said, I do think that you should be trying to share your thought pattern more than just kind of jumping in and just solving it out. Just solving it out really takes away. You're just showing them the solution and nothing more. In this case, I try to make sure that everyone is getting some value from watching these videos and kind of learning from my thinking, because I still very much watch content on YouTube. There are far better hackers out there, and I wish they would do more videos like this, because there are a lot of interesting challenges, especially around like web application, that I would love to know more on and be able to pick their brain on. So with that being said, sadly, we are now done with Leviathan. I hope everyone enjoyed the content. I'm going to try to do other video write-ups for everyone to learn from as well. Again, it's really important that you're taking the thought pattern and the workflow when you're watching these videos. If you're not solving it on your own, that you're still going to get value from it. Maybe not as much, but there's still certainly something to be gained from being able to watch these videos. So I hope everyone learned something as we worked our way through it. And yeah, I'll catch everyone in the next series. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And later, everyone.